spotlight on the great Blacks in Wax Museum. We have a special treat for you. Our brand new senator, Senator Chris Van Hollen, is featured in this segment. You're going to have a chance to see him in action and hear some of the fine things he has to say. So here we are, another spotlight on the great Blacks in Wax Museum. Our feature is Chris Van Hollen, Senator Chris Van Hollen. And you're going to have a chance to see Van Hollen in action at the NAACP convention in downtown Baltimore. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Spotlight on the Great Blacks in Wax Museum, and we're featuring the NAACP convention that was held in beautiful downtown Baltimore. A lot of great things happened during that convention, and we're going to share some of those iconic moments in that NAACP convention right here in Baltimore. So this is the Spotlight on the Great Blacks in Wax Museum. We're at the NAACP convention in downtown Baltimore. Hey, take a look at this.
That's it.
That's right. Let's give them a round of applause. We should appreciate everyone who served. I am pleased to introduce the Honorable Chris Van Hollen, United States Senator from the state of Maryland. Will Senator Hollen please come to the podium?
Thank you, Chairman Turner. Let's give it up for Chairman Turner and his leadership. I am very honored this evening to join with my fellow Marylanders to welcome you, the 108th National Convention of the NAACP, to Baltimore, Maryland. We are honored that you chose this city and state for this convention. Maryland, the proud birthplace of the American hero Frederick Douglass. Maryland, the proud birthplace of the American hero Harriet Tubman. And this great city of Baltimore, home to the longest running black family-owned newspaper in the country, the African American newspaper. And home to the late, great Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. And the current terrific member of Congress, Congressman Elijah Cummings. And let's give it up for our great Morgan State Choir you heard earlier today. And of course, Baltimore, Maryland, the headquarters for the NAACP. And it is thanks to the hard work of the NAACP over so many decades, combining with Allies for Justice, that we have made great progress for social justice in the United States of America. But as we take stock here, we know we've got a long distance still to go to meet the promise of equal rights and equal justice and equal opportunity in the United States of America. Indeed, as we're gathered here this evening, there are many around the country who seek to turn back the clock on the progress that we've made. Some who want to take a U-turn. And we need to send a message loud and clear to Washington, D.C. and every corner of this country. We are not turning back the clock on social justice in the United States of America. We're not going back. In fact, we only know one direction, which is forward. That is the gear that we must engage. And we will fight every effort. We will fight every effort at the national level to cut the budget of the Department of Education in the United States of America, because we cannot rest until we have a school system where every child in every school in every neighborhood has a first-rate education. We cannot rest until we see that happen. And we must build a growing economy that works for every American in every neighborhood, small businesses, minority-owned businesses, rather than an economy that works great for the top 1% and leaves so many other people behind. That must be our charge. And of course, we must have quality, affordable, universal health care for every American. And that starts this week with defeating the effort to destroy Obamacare, to defeat the effort to turn back the Affordable Care Act. I don't care if you're talking about the House Bill number 1 or number 2 or Senate Bill number 1, 2, or 3 or Trump Care. All of them have the same rotten core. All of them would kick tens of millions of our fellow Americans off of affordable health care in order to give tax breaks to a powerful few. It is unconscionable, and we must defeat and bury that proposal. Make no mistake, they can call it health care. But if it's health care, why are all the doctors against it? All the nurses against it? All the hospitals against it? The American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association. They're not Republicans or Democrats, but they're for our health, and they're all against it. So make no mistake, it's not health care, it's about wealth care, and we are going to make sure we do not go in that direction. And we need a justice system. We need a justice system that lives up to what is engraved above the entrance of the Supreme Court of the United States. Equal justice for all. For all. And as we're gathered here this evening, we know that Attorney General Jeff Sessions is working to roll back the clock on many important reforms put in place by President Obama, first under Attorney General Eric Holder, and then under Attorney General Loretta Lynch. And we must fight those efforts to turn back the clock with every ounce of strength we've got and say we are not going to let them drag us back. And to do that, the best way we can do that is if we get to these 2018 midterm elections, is to have everybody, and I mean everybody, turn up to the polls to vote. We know they've got a couple tricks up their sleeves there. They've got the so-called Election Integrity Commission, right? Make no mistake, this commission has nothing to do with voter integrity. It has everything to do with trying to suppress the vote of the United States of America. We saw what North Carolina tried to do when they passed a law before the last election. A unanimous three-court panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals of the Fourth Circuit said it was intended to suppress the vote, and specifically said it was designed to suppress the votes of African Americans in North Carolina. No, we are not going back, and we're going to fight that tooth and nail. And by the way, this so-called Election Integrity Commission is headed by the king of voter suppression, a fellow by the name of Chris Kobach, the Secretary of Elections in the state of Kansas. So we got a lot of work to do, because we got to make sure that we don't go backwards and that we find a way, even in troubled times, to go forward. And that, of course, has been the story of the civil rights movement. And that is why it's so important that we have everybody get out and weigh in as citizens at the ballot box in this upcoming election. Ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, I believe that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was right when he said, "The arc of the moral universe may be long, but it bends towards justice." I believe that in my soul, but I also believe it is our work to try to make that arc bend faster and further. And it is our work to make sure that we continue down the path to build an ever more perfect union. That has been the work of the NAACP from its very start. And I want to thank all of you for being the heirs to that incredible tradition where we make sure that we uphold the trust of those who come before us and make sure that we not only prevent those who want to take us backwards, but that we come together and chart a course to make sure that we meet the full promise of America. Thank you to the NAACP. Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland.
Thank you, Senator Van Hollen.
Hey, are you having a good time watching this? I am. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more. Spotlight on the Great Blacks in Wax Museum, and we're in downtown Baltimore at the NAACP convention. A lot going on down there. In fact, it's so much, I think we're going to have you go back and see some more right now. Here we go. NAACP convention, downtown Baltimore.
Our next two greeters are very special. And I need you delegates to give them a very special NAACP welcome. Number one, we are at home. Y'all don't sound like it. We're at home. Are you fired up? Yes. Then let's go. First, Al Hutchinson, president of Visit Baltimore. This guy is exceptional. Visit Baltimore has been phenomenal. We started down this road 3 years ago. And I can tell you that we have never gotten a better deal from a convention bureau than we received from Visit Baltimore. Give him a warm NAACP welcome, and he will be followed by the president of the Baltimore branch, Ms. Tessa Hill Aston.
So I'm Al Hutchinson, President and CEO of Visit Baltimore, and let me just say we're so excited that you are with us. I'm honored to be here this evening in the esteemed company of our Senator Van Hollen, and also on behalf of the City of Baltimore, my colleague Peggy Dadakis, who's the Executive Director of this venue you're in this evening, the Baltimore Convention Center, our hotel partners, and also the entire hospitality community. We're just honored to have you here with us today, and we're very excited about what's going to happen in the next few days here in Baltimore. You could not have picked a better city to come to for your 108th convention, and I just want you to know that Visit Baltimore is honored to be your host this week, and we're here to partner with the NAACP to make this your greatest convention ever. So I just want to say welcome to our great city of Baltimore, and as all of you all know, NAACP being the oldest and largest civil rights organization in this country, you all have done great work for all of us in America. And we feel very proud that you selected Baltimore for this week. And we want you to know you got great work to do this week. So I want you to take that very seriously. We need you. We need you to keep fighting for all of us. But I would also say to you, in your downtime, when you have that, you need to go see this great city. You need to go out and visit the Black Wax Museum. You need to go out and see the Reginald Lewis Museum of Maryland for African American history and culture. Go see the National Aquarium. Go out to all of our great neighborhoods. See our great restaurants. See our great people, because that's what we are. We're a city of great, great people. So I applaud the board for having the confidence in this great city. We're going to show you well. We're going to make sure you have a great time in this city. And I just want to thank Tessa, who's going to come on in a second, because what you're going to see starting tomorrow, we have an open-air food court at the corner of Light and Pratt Street. And we've invited 15 of our African American-owned restaurants to come downtown so you can experience that. Show those folks some love. We have great cuisine here other than Maryland Blue Crabs, which we're very proud of. But we have great food. So really support that effort. Do the work of your business here this week. But in closing, we're just very humbled and honored to be the backstop for this great conference. And as you leave Baltimore City in a few days, I just ask you a couple things. I ask you to leave this city in a better place than when you came here. And I also ask you, when you go back to your communities, you keep fighting for social justice. You keep fighting for economic justice to make this country the place, the better place that it needs to be, and it's going to take all of us in this room to get there. So I'm humbled by it, and I just want to say welcome to Baltimore, and spend some money while you're here too, so have a good time. Thank you.
I'm Tessa Aston, president of the wonderful Baltimore City branch that has all the history that you've heard some of the other speakers talk about. I'm the first female president of the Baltimore branch since the wonderful Enola McMillan, and I've heard Mrs. Hazel Dukes talk about this a lot. She's the one that, Ms. McMillan is the one that got the National to move here. We have a lovely old building that she helped the Baltimore branch to secure over 50 years ago, so I'm very proud of that. First of all, I have been very, some of you know me, I'm one of you. I am the branch president. We have feet on the ground, so we're all the same, doing the hard work. I just want to say that I've been very passionate about getting this to Baltimore for a long time. It's because Baltimore is a great city. It has wonderful food and great history. And I would just like to thank my wonderful executive committee members. Please stand, Baltimore members. That's Baltimore right there. And the other thing that I would like to bring to your attention is that we have a wonderful Veterans Committee and chairperson. And the color guard that you saw today came from my branch as members. They're the post-19 American Legions under the leadership of my district commander, my chairperson, Stand Up Truesdale. He has put together a wonderful veterans group. And so I just want to thank everybody, and I would like to give special recognition to Ms. Aponte, who has helped me a lot. Everybody knows her, she's been around, so she's given me lots of advice. And so welcome to Baltimore. Now I know that the former speaker, Mr. Al, mentioned something that I want everybody to please go outside. I want you to be fired up and ready to eat. What we did in Baltimore, you know, even in your own city, sometimes it's hard to get people from the hotel district, the convention district, to spend money with African Americans. So what we did at the Baltimore branch, we went out, and one of my chairpersons that took the lead on this, Reggie Parker, he went out and spoke to all the black caterers, the black restaurants. Some of them are medium, some of them are small. And what we did is we invited them to come downtown with tents, picnic tables, and we're going to have live jazz, and it's about 15 of them. And when you walk out of this building, right across the street on a grassy area, starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you go outside and have a taste of Baltimore. Go outside and eat the food of Baltimore. So thank you so much and enjoy. And I am so glad to be your host, and I am very happy. And thank all the board members for putting up with me and my passion. Thank you.
Let's give Baltimore one more hand. At this time, it is a privilege to introduce Ms. Jacayla Carr, a featured vocalist of the McDonald's Inspirational Celebration National Gospel Tour. We appreciate McDonald's interest and support of such programs as this, as well as their hosting back to school and other educational programs which benefits youth in public schools. Ms. Jacayla Carr.
I just want to take this moment to release greater over your home, over your ministry, over your health, over your finances, over everything that has to do with you. Is there anybody out there that's expecting greater today? Can you look at your neighbor and tell them greater is coming, greater is coming? That's it, tell them greater is coming. If it had not been for the shade, I never would have been ready for the making, no. If it had not been for the beat, I would have never knew how anointed I would be. Oh yeah. If it had not been for the press, I wouldn't be able to walk into my destiny. And He's preparing me, preparing me, preparing me for my greater. Shaking in the spirit, I feel a beating in the spirit, yeah. I feel a pressing in the spirit, but you're only preparing me for my greater. That's why you feel a shaking in the spirit, oh, and you feel the beating in the spirit. Somebody up in here today, you feel the pressing in the spirit, but I just came to remind you, He's preparing you for your greater. Everybody clap your hands. Come on, clap your hands. Oh yeah, would have been ready for the pain if it had not been for the beating. Oh, I would have known how anointed I would be, and if it had not been, I would be able to walk. Oh no, no, no. He's allowing it to. Oh, He's preparing me for my greater. Yeah, I feel a shaking in the spirit. I feel a beating. I feel a pressing. Oh yeah, yeah. He's preparing me for greater. Yes, He is. I feel a shaking. Oh yeah. Sometimes you have to go through the beating in the spirit. Yeah. He even have to take you through the pressing in the spirit. Don't worry, don't worry. He was only preparing you for greater. Yeah. Oh. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. Because the greater is coming, yeah. Greater. Everybody wave your hand and say, greater. Yeah. Say greater. Yes, it is. Said I know that my greater is coming. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Say greater is coming. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. My greater is coming. My greater is coming. Yeah. I feel a shaking in the spirit. God knows, God knows, God knows, God knows, God knows. I feel a beating in the spirit. I feel a pressing in the spirit. But you was only preparing me for my greater.
What a beautiful, beautiful voice. That's right, give it up again.
Wow. Wasn't that great? Chris Van Hollen at the NAACP convention. Well, that's how we do on the Spotlight on the Great Blacks in Wax Museum. We want to make sure that you have something that's worth experiencing, but also worth remembering. We're going to be back with more of Spotlight on Great Blacks in Wax Museum in the future. So don't go anywhere. In fact, go somewhere, but come back. I'm John Carrington, and this has been Spotlight on the Great Blacks in Wax Museum.